Ooh, stop scrolling. If your chicken has been standing around all like poofed up and not wanting to eat, this is probably what's going on. Okay, listen carefully, because as a veterinarian, I see this so much and it breaks my heart, and how many keepers miss it until it's too late. Your chicken is standing there, puffed up, not eating, not really moving, but you think, oh, it's just she's having a bad day, or it's the weather. And then you pick her up and her chest feels like a weird, like squishy, full, kind of like a water balloon. And her breath smells terrible for some reason. Well, that's sour crop. And if you've never heard of this, you need to listen up what I'm about to say, because it can kill your chickens in days. Okay, so what's actually happening is simple. So your chicken has this little pouch in her chest called the crop. And that's where food goes before it moves through her digestive system. So if it's working properly, the food passes through there overnight and the crop should be empty by the morning. But when the bacteria is in the gut is out of balance, yeast takes over, and that yeast stops everything from moving through. So the food is just sitting in that crop and it starts rotting inside your girls. And that squishy water balloon feeling is a crop full of rotting food. And that bad breath you may be smelling is literally the food going bad inside your girl's chest. If you've noticed this and your girls still look kind of okay, then you're lucky, because sour crop can move real fast. They can go to look completely normal one day to barely standing the next. She has to stop eating because there's nowhere for the food to go. So she loses weight, she gets weak, and the yeast can spread throughout the rest of her digestive system, and now you have less than an alive chicken. Okay, now here is what I see keepers doing that makes me want to scream. Not for ice cream, just to scream. They get on Facebook and everybody says, massage the crop, tip them upside down, give them apple cider vinegar, and fast them for 24 hours. But please do not try any of these things without knowing what you're dealing with, because tipping her upside down can actually make her aspirate, drowned in what you're trying to get out of her crop. And massaging a severely impacted crop, that could rupture. Just be careful. Apple cider vinegar does absolutely nothing for the yeast that's causing this. And fasting a chicken that's already losing weight, that can make a chicken weaker. Not a good idea. So these Facebook remedies aren't just useless for sour crop, they're kind of dangerous. So what's the real root of the cause here? Sour crop. So it doesn't come out of just anywhere. It happens when the gut bacteria has been off balance for a while. That's the perfect environment for yeast. So it slowly builds up over weeks until one day it takes over the whole system and shuts everything down. By the time you see the symptoms, the imbalance has been building inside her for a long time. And this is where most keepers get it wrong. So they're trying to fix sour crop after it happens instead of keeping the gut balanced so it never happens in the first place. And that's exactly what I tell my clients. You need to keep the gut balanced before anything gets a chance to take over any of that yeasty junk. The only thing I found that actually prevents sour crop long term and that I personally use and recommend is Roosty's. Okay, so Roosty's Flock Armor. So it works so well because of the oregano, which has an antifungal property in it to keep the yeast from building up all over the intestines. And the capsaicin from the chili, it turns the gut into an oven that parasites and bad bacteria simply can't stand. So the yeast stays in check. The bacteria stays balanced and the food keeps moving through the crop the way it should every single day. And no, I hear this a lot. No, it does not harm your flock at all, because the fact they go nuts for it because they don't have capsaicin receptors. So they can't taste the spice. They love it. But please don't try mixing your own spice blend at home, because the ratios, they do matter. So too much garlic can cause anemia in your chickens, and too little oregano can cause the yeast to build up. Then you've got a problem in the gut and a sick chicken. So it's not a great combo. So if you don't want to be standing in your kitchen at midnight trying to Google how to tip your chicken upside down without drowning her, instead you want a flock with healthy guts and food that's actually going to be moving properly through her intestines. So this chilling mix is the one for you. Did I mention how easy it is to use? Yeah, you just sprinkle 1 scoop on their feed once a day in the morning and it protects them all day. So simple. Okay, the link is below if you want to try it. Summer is the worst time I see this because the warm weather accelerates that yeast growth. So don't wait on this one. Tap below, grab yours while it's still on sale, and so you can protect your girls all the time. Winter, spring, summer, fall, all the time.